And we're spinning. All right, there we go. We are
Ooh,
live. So, quite a week today, huh?
what a week.
Yeah. So you were just at Oppenheimer doing some due diligence on AMC, you were telling me, in the green
Yeah,
room.
we had to do some proper due diligence. We're looking at Comcast, obviously, guys. So, uh, Comcast and AMC stock, we're both looking at those. We had to do our due diligence today, so we went into AMC theater right immediately. My AMC stock valuation is down 10%. They had nobody to check our ticket, and we snuck popcorn in. So,
Ooh.
for legal reasons, that's a joke, AMC. But in all seriousness, that's bearish on AMC. We're going down 10% on that. But there are a lot of people there. So
It was
for
crowded.
Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you see a lot of people buying the popcorn, though, when you were there? Big lines at the concession stand?
I that was for my mom to do. I wasn't there. I brought like smart popcorn in, and so I just got like a bag of that, and then she got butter and she put it in like a cup.
So is
So
that
we
like
kind of
the Orville Redenbacher Smart popcorn?
no, it's like the Hershey one, Smart Pop.
Oh, you mean skinny pop, maybe?
Skinny Pop. I'm
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, if you're ever on a cut, you gotta do the Smart Pop instead. It's got way fewer calories.
Yeah, I gotta put that in my tracker.
Yeah, I do the Smart Pop myself.
Yeah.
Microwave it up. They have 100-calorie bags that you can get.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. So okay, so and it's bullish on Comcast too then because of how many people were there, and
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
it's their movie, right? It's a Universal.
Universal.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
nice.
saw a Comcast company and immediately
Ooh,
thought of it.
yeah. Honestly, I think Comcast is potentially it's a company a lot of people sleep on, but um, I think it's potentially it could be one of the best compounders over the next 5-10 years for sure.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotta go deeper into it and see the brands they have. Because if they can keep producing blockbusters like that, I'm no movie expert. I'm no reviewer or whatever, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, I do like, I love a good movie and can always appreciate a good movie. I don't go to the theaters nearly enough for somebody that considers himself a movie person,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm actually super happy on my entry price for Comcast. I just a little over $36 when everything was kind of getting beaten up months back. I was able to, I think, get in at what is like a real steal for that company.
It's value right there.
Oh yeah, it's value. So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
I look at your community page from time to time, and a few days ago I saw there's a big announcement coming soon. Now I'm just curious. Do you want to give anybody out there maybe a hint as to what that might be, or is that still top secret?
Well, it's not a Jeremy boxing match. I wish that's what the news was, but unfortunately, it's not. No, but it's the 3K, the 3K, the first tier monetization, like the partnerships and sponsors. So I'm still kind of working out the nicks of that. I want to just make sure I'm not gouging my viewers for money. That's really it.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
basically it. And I'm still kind of waiting for that to process through too.
yeah, 100%. Like from my view, I think making it so that it's just like a small thing they can do to help the channel grow more so than like, hey, I'm trying to get rich off of my viewers kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
that's the way to approach it with some integrity from that perspective. There, the I don't know if you've seen what they allow, but they allow all the way up to a $500 monthly level in there if you want.
Yeah. What perk? Yeah. Uh, do some unspeakable things for that type of membership. I'd have to do a lot. Start a
Yeah.
webcam business. No, but I'm still kind of thinking. I'm still going through the possible perks. I think definitely like exclusive episodes. I think that's a big one. And then I also want to have I want to. It's a little corny, but like a quarterly report where like I could show where like literally every dollar that is be from the memberships or like from donations or whatever where it's going, like
Yeah.
exactly what expenses are for. I just think it's kind of cool. It's a good way to like invest in the channel with getting
Yeah,
some solid value.
I was thinking about having since I named my membership levels off of different levels of like investors, shareholders, preferred shareholders, etc. You've seen them.
Hmm.
Um, Thinking of like having like an annual meeting or like a quarterly like board meeting or something where like I have like a conference call and invite members only to come in and join on a little conference call where we just talk about the channel and such. I mean, I think something like that might be fun. Hard
Yeah.
to put something like that together when you've only got like 6 members or something, but it's something we could definitely grow into, I think.
And a lot of people I've noticed, like, not everybody necessarily wants to like. I was thinking of like possible perks, like I could like guarantee somebody like come on a live or get an instant video recommendation. A lot of people don't even want; they just want to support you, which I think is cool.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I think for the people who signed up, I know I recognized most of the names as some of like the earlier subscribers that got in when, like, frankly, I felt like I didn't even really have a clue what I was doing. I was just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. And, I was lucky enough that they kind of stuck with me and waited for me to get a little bit better at talking on camera and finding my voice and whatnot.
When we
And
blow up, we're gonna move to Hollywood and become really weird people.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'm gonna
So
start wearing robes around, going to Starbucks.
in that in that same vein, though, like I actually just got my 4,000 watch hours.
Oh, nice! Congrats.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
We're like the polar opposites. I got the subscribers, you got the watch hours.
yeah. It's kind of funny how that works. Like some people, it's like I've heard that some people say that like the 1,000 subscribers is like so much easier than the watch hours, but for me, it's been the opposite. Like the watch hours have kind of flowed in pretty well, but there's been certain points where it felt like the subscribers were stalling. Granted, I'm back to pretty good subscriber growth like this last week or so. It's jumped up again. Obviously, every time MPW has earnings, that's good for my viewership,
Yeah.
right? Medical Properties Trust for the win. Let's see here.
I don't even know how close I'm with the watch hours. I'd assume I'm in like the low to mid 3,000s. It won't even show me right now because it just says like process or it
It
says
takes
yeah,
yeah, it takes a couple days for them to update. Like the any watch hours you go to gotten like this weekend, you won't even see them until Monday.
yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
like that with the
yeah.
actual watch hours. It takes a couple days, but it
Yeah,
just says sign up for Google AdSense in progress right now with that. So I just gotta figure that out.
yeah. It's definitely a process, but like every time you reach a new milestone, it feels pretty darn good, I'd say.
Yeah, especially when you don't like get one video just blow up and completely carry you to like you gotta consistently in the work.
Yeah, yeah, you can't count on one video only, that's for sure. Um, you've got to find a way to get a few others out there that take off. The good news is though, every time one video does take off, I've noticed that like some videos that haven't really gotten any views in a while must be getting suggested or something, because then like I'll notice videos from like 2 months ago suddenly will get like 5 random views out of nowhere that they didn't get. So like clearly like it's working its way to help boosting you in the algorithm once you have one video take off.
Yeah, I was debating going through my old videos and like I've applying a more modern thumbnail to them from a few like videos I've done like a few years ago or whatever, and I wonder if that would help at all.
Going back and
Just
upgrading,
changing the
like,
thumbnail. Yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, in fact, that's something I could probably do as well. But then again, some people like the classic meme style, so I might just keep it how it is for nostalgia.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you forget your roots, who are you?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't displace the Class B investors
right. You
membership.
can't. You can't. Hey, Jonathan in here as usual. How's it going, Jonathan? Wonder if he's got any input on AMC via Oppenheimer. You seen Oppenheimer, Jonathan?
Yeah, if you haven't seen Oppenheimer, you haven't done due diligence yet, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, for sure. You can't be buying AMC if you don't go see Oppenheimer first. You got to count
Yeah.
the people in the concession line and then multiply that by the cost of an order of popcorn and then multiply that by the total number of AMC theaters out there to be able to calculate how much that's going to impact AMC's sales. That's Jeremy style due diligence right
And
there.
then you're forgetting the employee count behind the popcorn or like the snack desk, so you got to add those in as well too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and admit, like, I actually also haven't seen Oppenheimer yet. So I clearly need to get out there and do some more due diligence. I'm not a true ape if I'm
Uh,
not actually going to that theater every weekend, right?
yeah, membership money not going to good use, guys. He's got to spend the membership
Yeah,
money.
yeah, that's right. That's right, Jonathan. I'm more of a Barbie man myself. If you couldn't tell.
John's going against his Hasbro position there. That's not real. That's not real investing.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, Hasbro. Eesh. More like Hadbro because you sold, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
had
don't blame you,
Hasbro.
man. I don't blame you. There's better opportunities for that money.
It was a Band-Aid I had to rip off.
Yeah, but man, like, I don't know if this is just me, but pretty much, I'd say the majority of stocks I hold across my accounts were in the toilet this week. It's been rough.
Yeah, it's been weird. I didn't see a whole lot worth buying. I just added a bit to my Visa and Target positions. I'm
Gotcha.
still trying to be a little patient.
So how is Target performing lately?
It's been flat, pretty much.
Uh, honestly, I don't mind when something's flat. Just gives you more time to evaluate and
Ooh,
run
they
your
do
numbers. And
report on Wednesday though, so I'll be paying attention to
oh,
that.
okay. So, all right, prediction then. Do you think that all the whatchamacallit, we'll just call it the tuck friendly clothing and such, all the controversy around, do you think it's going to hurt their earnings or do you think it's going to have no effect?
Ah, I don't know. I could see a little impact, but it depends if analysts have or the people making these projections or whatever are like actually pricing that into the estimates. I don't
I'm
know that, but
sure. I'm sure. Like it's at least been considered by the analysts. Um,
uh, I think they come in line pretty much.
yeah,
If I'm just worried that they say something bad about theft or shrinkage because that's I think more of a threat now to really sell the stock.
yeah. That you have a point there. The retail is suffering with all the shrinkage right now.
Yeah, I
And
did a lot of
for
research
anybody
on
that
that.
doesn't know what we mean by shrinkage, it's basically the shoplifting.
Shoplifting and employees taking stuff.
Yeah, insider theft, basically. Yeah. Ooh. Oh no. This guy's got calls. He's got calls on target.
Praying for you. We'll
Wish
accept
you
you
well.
on the 30-year time span for Target.
Yeah. I mean, I have so I in my Robinhood account where I'm doing a 100K challenge, which is seeing how fast I can go from 10K to 100K. I am doing some options, but mostly selling. Although I do have a call, like a long dated call on MPW for like 2025 at the $10 strike. So I need them to go back up by 2025.
John says Walmart has more issues than Target. I think all retailers are sick. I haven't really kept up with Walmart, but I know that they're overpriced, and all the
Yeah,
retailers are kind of all dealing with shrinkage right now.
yeah,
And theft.
100%. Yeah, Walmart has this, like all retailers have this shrinkage issue right now, and Walmart has a secondary issue of, having a beefier valuation that I don't think can be supported. And I think Target's valuation is way more reasonable, and I think they've got more room to, in the long run, grow, either add more stores or add more same store sales and that kind of thing. Maybe do more with online. Um, I think that Target's just a way better value any way you slice it right now.
Yeah, I do wonder when Target will actually go back up, though. I could see if they report good earnings, they could start trading up near 140 again. I
Wow.
could see that.
Wow, this guy is quite the trader.
Yeah, some Jeremy trades right there.
He's
15x, right?
Yeah.
1.5x.
MPW leaps are a good buy. So I mean, I got mine before they took I only have one. All right. So it's like not a huge, it's like less than 2% of my Robinhood account that I'm doing the challenge in. And that's sort of a for fun thing that I think people will find to be a compelling story over time. It'll be something I can update at pretty regular intervals, just basically go over what moves I made to try to bring in bring in some premium or that kind of thing. So it'll be a nice playlist at some point in the future. And if I get from 10K to 100K in a reasonably short period of time compared to how long it would take with simple buy and hold, I think everybody likes to root for the underdog. It's going to be easier said than done for sure, but it's kind of a for fun thing. Not for everybody, and definitely not financial advice.
Ritz says he's trying to get more Target shares this week. If I were you, here's my approach with earnings. Just wait before, especially with Target too, because they're kind of be more likely to anything bad happening. Just wait till after earnings, kind of see where the averages out. Let any emotional news sink in, really, and just see if you can get a good price. Then I highly doubt it will trade up 20%, but get ready to clip that and post it in shorts if it does.
Oh my god, he's giving me some pointers now. Put all 10K into January 2024 SoFi 15 calls. Those will 10x. So I'm going to tell you something. When Palantir was like $6 a share, I was really strongly considering buying Palantir Leaps because I had this strong inkling that if they went gap profitable, that the price would take off like it did. Because let's face it, even when they weren't profitable, people were so overinflated on them, and I think just looking for an excuse to get back in. But I ended up not pulling the trigger, and of course, that would have been like that would have been a sheer like Wall Street Bets legend moment if I had done that. But it's not really my way of doing things. So that's why I didn't like pull the trigger and like go all in on something like that. Because the penalty for being wrong is pretty severe. It's an all or nothing kind of thing. He thinks Target's going to go back up because there's no way the market will give us a 6% yield on this stock.
Well, that's been said with AT&T before. And
yeah, I mean, but telecoms, that's pretty much all people buy them for is the yield.
But after they cut it, I meant like after they cut the...
Oh, yeah. That's true. So, Jonathan, I already own shares of Palantir. So it was something I thought of doing because I had sold puts, got assigned 100 shares, and I was thinking, why don't I buy? It seemed like it was at the bottom, to the best of what I could tell. It seemed like it wasn't dropping any further. Earnings was coming up. It looked like they were about to be gap profitable. Like the ingredients were there to buy leaps and have like a huge return. It's not something I've really done a lot. So yeah, I was a little bit maybe too cautious, didn't do it. I mean, I could have bought like one or two just to see what happened, and it still would have been a pretty big win for me. But at the end of the day, it's important not to have FOMO, because then you sit there trying to find the next stock that's going to go up 200%, and you'll be wrong more often than right.
They sent me a whole pack. I saw the people were getting packets in the mail.
Really? So is this about the healthcare spinoff, or is it something else?
I believe so. I gotta look. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not too intimately familiar, just because J&J just hasn't been one of the ones I've been looking at more closely. So, like,
It might be like an information packet about the Kenview.
Yeah, it's probably to explain like what you're getting, because I'm assuming existing shareholders are going to be receiving shares of the new spinoff.
Believe so.
Yeah, and I think that they have to inform you about how that's all going to work and what you're getting.
Thoughts on Pfizer?
Hoo-hoo.
Frank did not like Pfizer.
Pfizer. Well, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, I always come back to the need to understand the pipeline, especially if pharmaceuticals, I mean, with something like Johnson & Johnson, where they've, where it was a conglomerate and healthcare was only part of it, I'm not as worried about understanding the pipeline. But with something like Pfizer, where it's like basically all they do is pharmaceuticals, of course, I'm sitting here saying like I'm relatively, I like to think of myself as relatively scientifically literate, but I'm 100% not qualified to read a clinical trial and understand what the results really mean and what the marketability is for a drug, right? And if you're not, like, get advice from someone who is. Like, if you have, for example, an uncle who's a doctor that maybe can make sense of the pipeline, maybe go out to dinner or drinks if you're over 21, and pick his brain or something like that.
Just get a bunch of printed out AbbVie trials, AbbVie and Pfizer trial.
Yeah.
Now, of these two, which one do you think would be more bullish for?
And now that being said, like, if something becomes like almost too obvious of value, like, let me look at Pfizer for 1 second, because Pfizer's been doing this a long time, right? And they were founded in 1849. So if Pfizer all of a sudden like randomly fell in half or something, and I could look at some analyst estimates and realize like, oh, hey, look, they're expecting earnings to go back up, or whatever it was that caused it to fall. I might make a small bet on it, but I'm not going to go heavy into something where I don't think I understand enough about their future to be able to really know whether the analysts are on base or off base. Because the analysts, they're not really they're not medical experts either, so if they have like a really rosy projection, how much can you really trust it?
Yeah.
And they tend to be a little bit more optimistic in a lot of cases. And they trust the management guidance a lot, I think. Sprite on the rocks. Oh, that's a real man's drink right there. Me, I prefer anything involving Coca-Cola, not sponsored.
Wow. That's FTX won't like that. They're sponsoring the stream, by the way.
yeah. We're sponsoring the stream so that SBF can get his bail back.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Free my boy Sam.
So, do you own any BDCs, or have you looked into any BDCs?
No.
No?
No.
No business development companies.
Not yet.
I've noticed a lot of people in the Discord they're fans of ARCC, HRZN. I mean, I own both of them. But I know you're pretty comfortable with REITs. Is there any reason you stayed away from BDCs?
Just not complete understanding. I never got around to really researching it, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Understood. I'm looking through some of the hits I took this week. Man, Altria Group back under $44 a share. That's rough.
It's getting appealing.
Yeah, I mean, the last time it was this low was last fall, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's pretty crazy. I personally, oh my gosh, it got down to $40.38 last September. That's nutty. That's ridiculous.
Do we think it's actually gonna when do we think it realistically could trade back up in the 50s and 60s? Because I feel like it's just one of those stocks that's always in the 40s.
Well, here's the thing, man. Before it cratered last year, which looks like that actually happened in the summer in June is when it first plummeted. It had pretty consistently been high 40s, low 50s.
I remember that.
Period of time. Yeah. Except it had some COVID pandemic lows, but even before that, but yeah, it's actually gotten as high as the low 60s previously. So I don't know what it is it's actually been a lot more consistently range bound in the mid 40s this past little bit, basically since last summer, than it has been in a long time. It's had a lot of peaks and in the 50s or even the 60s, and then a lot of drops back down into the 40s. Frankly, I feel that Altria is a pretty solid value. Anywhere below 50 is a pretty reasonable value for them, I think, based on how consistent their free cash flow is, how little competition can really enter the market that they're in. There aren't many tobacco startups these days, right? So
maybe we'll start one up with the membership money.
Yeah, that's right. Jeremy can be our CFO. But I just think, hey, they have a very consistent free cash flow. There's some, potential future upside with a few things that they're into. Kronos Group for the possible cannabis upside, and now the Enjoy deal for the vaping upside. And of course, tobacco isn't going to go anywhere overnight. Granted, yes, smoking is a stagnant or even declining business from the perspective of the number of smokers seems to decline pretty steadily. But the people who start, they stick around and keep buying the product for however long they live in most cases. So,
and they got the vapes.
Yeah, and then a lot of other people got the vapes. And I think vaping is probably going to be the vice of the future. I know a lot of people who love vaping. And vaping, it doesn't have like that distinct, like a lot of places, of course, ban smoking, but are more tolerant to vaping. I know like some places are banning vaping now a little bit more. Like you're not allowed to vape on airplanes. That's a
Yeah.
big one. But like I used to sit next to a guy at one of my old jobs, in an office environment, and he would sit there and like smoke on his vape pen. Like he had previously been a cigarette smoker, and he switched to the vaping because he could do it indoors and it had like nice flavors, and it was not necessarily quite as bad for you, or at least that's how they advertised it back then. So and here's the thing, like as a person that sat next to it, I didn't mind it so much because it just smelled like berries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like wasn't like offensive to be around, right? And so I think, and there's not like now granted the science could change on this, or new information could come to light, but as far as I know, there's no so-called secondhand vape, right? You're not gonna get sick from being in the same room as somebody that vapes, because to my understanding all they're breathing out is like steam. There's not really secondhand vape to my understanding. So
Yeah.
Jonathan's got
Unfortunately,
some
in high school bathrooms,
yeah.
I wish I could say it smells a bit nice. It smells like a combination of beer, pee, and I don't know, a lot of other things. It does not smell so nice.
Well, honestly, so some places are cracking down on the like the fruity sweet flavors of vape because they think it appeals to kids. But like I know, like the dude I'm talking about, he was probably like 29 or 30, and it's like he hadn't been a kid. Like vaping came out, he was already an adult. So, and most of the people I know who vape are actually, I mean, granted, I don't know many people who are not adults and capable of legally vaping, but I don't know, like I don't think I've ever been out and like seen a bunch of kids on the corner or at the park or whatever like vaping, right? It's always been adults I've seen using the vape.
Man, you're just not going at the right time then to the park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bad. From what I see, at least, it's bad.
Jonathan hopes the cannabis gets more legal. Well,
We're bullish though.
So the thing is, state by state, it seems to be going that direction, but I don't know, federally, for whatever reason, it seems to continue to be a sticking point. And I don't know if we will ever have, like, all they would really have to do is like either lower it on the schedule or take it off. And I think that would be really bullish for investments in that area. But for whatever reason, even though this is one of those topics where the vast majority of the voting public actually agrees that like nobody should get arrested for weed. Like pretty much the vast majority, no matter political affiliations aside or anything, pretty much everyone agrees with that. So it's bonkers to me that nothing major has happened with that at all. I don't know. It's like if it hasn't happened at this point, I don't know when it will. Not to be pessimistic or anything, but it's like fusion power. It seems like it's always 5 or 10 years away from happening with cannabis being more legal in more places, like federally.
Oh, while we're on the topic of vapes, because Rich commented, trust me, kids are vaping everywhere. I have a bit of a story. So, like the good man I am, I'm heavy against vaping and all that stuff. So we found out in our photo class maybe a year or two ago that we were trying to find vape places to prank call, because we had a few kids and I was gonna act like the mom and my other friend act like the dad and the son who got caught, or who they sold a vape to. So we found out that they were selling vapes to like underage kids, because we heard classmates talking that they got vapes there. So we called there, and I have the thing on video, maybe members exclusive, but we called there and I'm like, you sold my son, who is 13 years of age, you sold him a nicotine pen and e-cigarette. And like we got them all panicked, and like My other friend acting like the kid who got caught. It was so funny.
That's really hilarious, dude.
And you could
Um,
see the panic in there. You could kind of see the panic in the employees' voices. They know, oh, we didn't do it. We don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, that's really funny. I mean, the fines for if you get caught doing that, it's no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be like they would cost them a lot of money, and it's completely not worth it for them to do that. But I don't know, some places are just, probably, I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably one of those places in the wrong part of town that seems like the guy behind the counter would do anything for a few extra bucks, right?
You'd be correct.
Yeah. I know those kind of places well. I used to live somewhere called Rockford, Illinois. Look it up.
Let's pull up a picture.
Yeah, a picture will be worth 1,000 words. It looks like Flint, Michigan and Gary, Indiana had a baby.
Let's see. Rockford, Illinois hoods. Look up the good parts. Oh, that's nice.
I mean, they call it the Forest City. There are a lot of trees there, but
yeah, a lot of grass going through the concrete as well.
Yeah, it's basically
Sidewalk.
yeah. There's a lot of ghetto things happening there. All right. Oh, Shamir's with us. Howdy, Mr. Canadian. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm very familiar with those kind of places.
Yeah, nobody likes a bragger. Let's not get too. Let's not try to flaunt ourselves on top of the members in the chat here.
Right. So top tier. So, yeah, I think that though that those individuals who started vaping early, they'll probably be customers for a very long time.
Yeah, I see a lot of addiction.
Yeah, and
Do
while
you think nicotine's gonna like vaping's gonna have a more of an impact on lungs or brain development?
well,
I'm no expert either. I'm
so I think honestly, if as long as there's not like Juul had that issue where there was like somehow the heating element was causing like heavy metal particles or something to go into the thing. As long as it doesn't have that issue and it's just steam and nicotine. All right, nicotine itself, as far as I know, doesn't really directly do anything to the lungs. It's just it's a stimulant. Nicotine is like a much more addictive caffeine almost in a way. It's a stimulant, and it kind of perks you up and gets you going, but it gets to the point where if you try to go without it, you get
withdrawal.
you get like these different types of withdrawals, and different people experience it differently. Some people experience it as headaches, which is the same like if you try to quit caffeine. Like if you drink coffee,
story I have.
if you drink coffee every morning, or even if you're just drinking like a couple cans of Coke or something a day, and then you stop all of a sudden, about a day goes by, and then you get these awful like headaches. And I've heard the same from some people with nicotine, though for some it just makes them crabby, and like they say they crave it. It's more of a psychological thing. Rit says they're going to get cancer.
Well, I mean, I think like especially the cheaper
Jonathan
ones, because that's what the kids are buying. They're by the cheapest ones. I think those have like the most chemicals in it and like unnatural flavorings or whatever to make it more appealing or whatever. So I think that's where kind of the brain, the Jeremy kookiness is going to
go. Does Jeremy vape? That would explain a lot.
I don't know. His wife could give him some vape, probably. She looks like she does. Oh yeah, we had I'm a coffee fiend, as everybody know. I'm a big coffee guy, and we had a snowstorm over Christmas, and I had like 5 or 6 days without hard caffeine, and it was horrible.
Yeah, Ritz is a Dr. Pepper fiend. I drink basically any sugar-free energy drink I can find, I like to try them all. I'm like a Pokemon master, but with energy drinks. And of course, my Coke Zero, or I'll have Diet Coke. If I go to a restaurant and they tell me they don't have Coke products, I tell them, you guys are garbage and I'll never come back.
It's due diligence. Due
Yeah.
diligence.
I should really look into it before I go, but I don't always think about it until I'm sitting there and I've got the menu and it's like, Coke or Pepsi products. They say Pepsi products. I say, I'll stick with water. Is vapor tax as hard as cigarettes? I don't think so. I think cigarettes are taxed the heaviest.
This training group, oh my God, sends us free coffee. Just send it to me. Send it to us, and we'll give it away to one of our community members.
Ooh, yeah, that
In a
can that could be a
private
perk for a
mastermind.
private mastermind. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we could have a stock market competition too, like a paper trading competition. The winner gets free coffee.
Yeah, I heard Stockmo, his high school students won a stock market contest, and that's why he has 800,000 subscribers and people buy Lucid and whatever because of his recommendations.
So speaking of stock market contest, I'm going to give you a little credit on this one. It was basically like a day trading thing. It was a month or whatever, so I didn't know. I wasn't just going to buy Coke and pray. I put it like all into pretty much MPW. I'm not even going to lie. I was up a lot on the position, and I came in like 11th place out of like 500 contestants.
Hell yeah, MPW coming through.
I didn't even know anything. If it was like over or undervalued, I was like, oh, why not?
Well, here's the thing. Just net asset value should be about $14 a share on it. But as a multiple of FFO, they're undervalued by even more. Some people put them in the high teens to low 20s based on their FFO. So, you know, I sit here and I say, well, my basis is like around $10, and right now it's available for like $8. But a lot of people are anticipating a dividend cut. So, well, speaking of being big into coffee, I mean, Ryan here is Mr. Starbucks. He's got tons of Starbucks. Yeah.
Big Starbucks and Tim Hortons guy.
Yeah. So there was a guy that like freaked out in the Discord because he thinks Starbucks.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a little confused.
I don't know. Dude, that guy'd been a member, like, he'd been in the server since like April. So he's been in there for months, almost since the very beginning. And he was like, you were talking about Starbucks, you and Matt, I think.
Yeah, Matt.
You were talking about Starbucks.
Conversation right now.
Yeah, and the guy was like, to be honest, you guys all sound like scams to me. I'm out of here. It's like, because people are talking about investing in Starbucks stock. I mean,
yeah, Matt said you've convinced me to buy Starbucks. $50 into it. I said that's a good man right there. He said, Starbucks, comma, what are their biggest buyers? I said, me, and me. He said, I be honest, most of y'all sound like scams. Peace.
Yeah.
He wasn't like mean about it either. It was just a little out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know if he's one of those guys that like thinks that like if you invest in like mainstream businesses that it's like some kind of a scam or something. I don't know if he thinks there's like some kind of conspiracy or something. That was just bizarre. One of the most bizarre interactions.
That's very random.
Seven-figure and eight-figure traders.
We got to talk about Disney because they reported this week, and John spread some fake misinformation on the Discord.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he say their dividend was coming back at the end of 2023?
I come back from a nice day at the gym, and I look on the Discord, and he's like, the dividend's back. The dividend's, which I already knew that they were going to plan to reinstate the dividend. So it was a misunderstanding. John, don't worry. We won't fine you 50% of the membership fee for this month. But no, they are reaffirming the dividend. It's going to be much smaller than the last one, I'm pretty sure.
So
a more
what I'm hearing is buy leaps on Disney.
That's not financial advice.
Is that what I'm hearing? Did I hear it here today that it's time to buy leaps on Disney? Because that's what it sounds. I mean, what you said was they're reaffirming the dividend, but what I heard was buy leaps on Disney.
All I said they're reaffirming the dividend. I no comment.
I mean, Ritz agrees with me on buying leaps on Disney. That is actually so. Disney, PayPal, MPW, and Baba are all things I'm considering buying leaps on for the 100K challenge. Wow. Well, we're getting some consensus here.
Wow.
Everybody thinks it's a good idea. All right, so guys, if it goes to 0, I can bill you, right?
Yeah, that's part of the contract he signed when joining the private mastermind Discord.
Yep. If it goes to 0, I can bill you. That way, my account always goes up. Never have a losing quarter.
Yeah. I think Jeremy's playing Target though, so I'm a little concerned. Back to Target there, I'm a little concerned on that position.
So Ritz, since you're bringing up MPW, and I cover this stock exhaustively, I would just say, I know the yield is attractive for sure, and they haven't cut the dividend yet. And actually, as recently as Q1 of this year, they basically said, no, there's no reason for us to cut the dividend. But at the near the end of the earnings call for Q2, they didn't say they were going to cut it, but when they answered the question, they didn't say they wouldn't, and it didn't seem like a very confident answer. So one of the credit to one of the people that
answer right there.
Credit to one of the people that commented on the video, because I really would have liked to be able to dial in for the call and hear it all, but sometimes they happen so egregiously early in the morning, and I work nights, so I'm not able to do that. But he told me, like, hey, look at the transcript and, look at the way they answered it compared to, the last time they were asked that question. And it's true. It did not exude confidence in the dividend. That being said, FFO does cover it, but there was a non-cash item added to the FFO this time around, and the cash itself was a penny short of covering the 29-cent dividend. So that is it seems like some people say it's a little bit of fudging the numbers in a sense. Now, granted, the cash inflow should be better starting in September because I think it was Prospect. Prospect Health. Yes, they are, maybe Prospect Medical Group. They're one of MPW's tenants. They were not paying rent, and they're set to resume partial rent payments in September and full rent payments in March. So I think once that happens, the cash will cover the dividend again, and so maybe they don't have to cut it, but it does seem to be on the table. Wow, man. Ritz, I feel like you're playing an entirely different game from the rest of us. You swing for the fences.
That's what a real 10x stock trader does.
Yeah. I tell you. So honestly, even if MPW has cut the dividend in the past in 2008. That was also a bad real estate situation. People are anticipating another bad real estate situation in the near term. Interest rates are up. A lot of companies are facing refinances on commercial real estate at unfavorable interest rates compared to what they had previously. In some places, even home prices are starting to cool off or even decline. I can see why the market is scared of MPW. We'll just put it that way. But hey, greedy when others are fearful, right?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. If it's good enough for Daddy Buffett, it's good enough for me. Not that he has MPW, but greedy when others are fearful. And there's financials to back that up. A balance sheet backs it up.
You're paying $8 too much.
Yeah, I mean, could be. He can't hit home runs in baseball, so he's got to do them in a degenerate account. I mean, hey, Ritz, more power to you, man.
Like, me and Rezzy are at it. We're gonna have a gambling competition between them.
Yeah, we should put together a poker game sometime, guys. I think that'd be fun.
A members only poker game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And Jonathan, commercial real estate that's slow bleeding. That's a weird way to spell commercial, but I'll allow it.
Look, oh,
3M. Oh, brother.
They didn't cut their dividend. Everybody's saying they're going to do it, but they didn't.
Oh, boy. Whoa, they're back up over $100. When did that happen?
They had good earnings a few weeks ago.
Yeah, see, I didn't really follow. It's funny because I actually have a little 3M in the YouTube portfolio, and I didn't even bother to follow their earnings. Wow, that is quite a jump. They say the earnings was good. So are they going to raise the dividend this year or leave it alone?
Well, they announced a hike a few quarters ago. It was only like 0.6% or something. It was nothing.
So they're doing the bare minimum to stay an aristocrat, basically.
Yeah, they're doing. They announced they wouldn't be high. They announced the same dividend, basically.
Gotcha. Oh, he learned Texas Hold'em at age 4. But how old are you now, Ritz? That's the question.
He's younger than me, I think.
Is he?
I think it's kind of a.
In that case, I've been playing Texas Hold'em since before you were born.
No 3M for John. No, there's real risk with 3M, I think, still. But if you actually look at the free cash flow, they still look decent right now.
All right, so yeah, I'm 35 and I started when I was 18. So
he's got me by a few months.
Yeah, I've been playing poker that long. Although I think I was a little better at Omaha 8 or better. I mean, I was playing on like Poker Stars and Full Tilt before they got shut down in the US. Haven't played all that much live poker though. I probably should. It's easy to find soft live games, make good money. 3M products everywhere in classrooms, houses, stores. Yeah, that's true. But I've said this in a number of cases. Somebody can have the best product, or product that's everywhere, product that's necessary, but it still doesn't necessarily make the company a good investment, right? Because at the end of the day, they have to translate that product into bottom line profitability.
Which, I mean, they have, but they don't at the same time because of the lawsuits.
Yeah. I mean, and the lawsuits basically represent a big question mark on whether they can continue to do that. The market hates uncertainty, and so the stock price gets beaten down.
Yeah.
Kept it simple, click the buy button. I should probably do that more, but I'm a creature of habit. And, what I've been doing has worked decently well, so.
Are you talking about the women preference you want to date, John? Oh.
Online, his age is either 26 or 82. Is that on Grindr or? Does your milkshake bring all the boys to the yard, Jonathan? But yeah, I mean, the questions about the product is everywhere, etc. I mean, by that argument, everybody should be bullish on Intel as well, because I mean, heck, the computer I'm on right now has an Intel chip in it. I'd say for most of you, that's probably the case.
Not for me. We got that Apple M1 chip here with long Apple.
Long Apple. But, oh.
No.
82 on Tinder, 26 on job applications. That's nice. Nice. So, I mean, and you know, speaking of Intel, I mean, they gave back a lot of what they gained after they had a bit of an earnings rally, because of course Pat mentioned AI.
Yes. Well, we have a healthy competitive advantage fueled by AI and artificial intelligence.
And you know, of course, you mention AI, stock goes up, and then some other stuff kind of happens, stock goes down. Stock goes up, stock goes down. Can't explain that. I will say this though. I mean, for the most part, we all, I mean, except for you, because Long Apple, but most of us somewhere have either a desktop computer, a laptop computer, whatever, with an Intel chip in it. All the laptops at my place of employment, of which there are thousands of laptops there, all have Intel chips, right? And I keep hearing, well, if this, that, they're so far behind and everything. Are they that far behind in the chips, the kind of chips that are going into like a laptop for like a retail consumer or for enterprise use in like a, you know, a ThinkPad or something? I don't think they're that far behind in that area. I think they're pretty far behind in like the more cutting edge type thing, you know, yeah. And anybody can correct me rather if I'm wrong on that. But like, I think there's a difference between being behind in terms of what would work for your average consumer or your average workstation versus what you need for like a cutting edge, like supercomputer or, you know, data center or something like that. And I think as far as everyday use, I think the Intel chips are fine. Mine works fine.
Yeah, we have an Intel chip on our school Chromebooks. I need to take some pictures of people using them, though, so that's not good due diligence.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that, you know, people use them and whatnot, though. It's like they've also proven over a long period of time that they can, you know, produce a good amount of profitability, cash flow. And when they're not spending tens of billions of dollars on CapEx, they can support a good buyback program, good dividend, etc. And I think right now they're in an innovation phase, and eventually that spending will slow back down and they'll get back to growing the bottom line again. And if it goes well, should be better and stronger. But that's just, you know, where I sit on it. And I think they're at a reasonable price to pay today for what that future free cash flow is likely to be going forward.
In the healthy competitive dividend.
Yeah. The healthy competitive dividend. I think they will regrow the dividend once they've, you know, stopped with the CapEx. Honestly, I think cutting the dividend was the right move.
Yeah, but it was for the business.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it hasn't gone down more, actually.
And frankly, even if you think it's maybe not a great price today, I think it was almost inarguably a good value when it was like $25 a share, honestly. But, you know, some people have disagreed with me on Discord about that, and they're entitled to their opinion. But I don't think, I mean, you have to understand, I've been hearing that AMD is going to kill Intel for 20 years now. And it just has not happened. And if I'm not mistaken, if you look at the like last 3 to 5 years worth of like revenue, profits, et cetera, for Intel, those levels are higher than what they had when they were at their peak in like 2000 or whatever. So the business has grown, not shrunk. And granted, like AMD may overtake them someday, but just because you're the biggest player or the furthest ahead in your technology doesn't necessarily make you the best investment.
You got a hate comment this week.
Oh yeah, yep. Because you wouldn't want to discuss financials on your webcam and microphone from your bedroom. Which, by the way, it's not
bedroom.
it's not
The
my
living
bedroom.
room.
Technically speaking, I don't even have a bedroom because it's a studio apartment. But nice try. But yeah, like, what are most people on YouTube? If you boil it down, they're people with a webcam and a microphone talking about something. So, like, I don't understand even what the critique was.
And I think he sold out at a loss. That's from my perspective.
You think he sold the stock at a loss and just looking?
I gotta read the comment again fully. I got a comment about Disney going woke today. So that's a little.
Oh, were they a little hateful about that?
No, it wasn't even really hateful. It was just like Disney will not resolve their issues until they stop becoming woke.
Yeah.
So yeah, Disney won't recover until they ditch the woke content. Woke is killing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I've discussed Disney previously, I've heard that too, about that they're going to go woke, go broke, and frankly, it's not that. That's an overly simplistic way of putting it. Like, I think it's more. It's just more complicated than that, right? One is, I think being inclusive isn't necessarily going to hurt your business, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people conflate being inclusive or representing different types of characters or people and whatever, either in your advertising or if you're an entertainment business in your movies or whatever. Because, like, Disney's had pretty diverse, like, amongst like the so-called Disney princesses, there's a lot of diversity there, right? Like nationality, race, etc. Like you have the French Belle in Beauty and the Beast. You've got like the Arabian princess Jasmine in Aladdin. You've got the strong warrior from East Asia or China, I guess, in Mulan. Like there's like you've got the half fish, the person who identifies as a half fish in Ariel and Little Mermaid.
I think my issue though with that is like when sometimes you can just tell, regardless of like the political side you're on, that they're trying a little too hard to integrate.
That is exactly what I was getting at. I think people are okay with inclusiveness. It's when you're obviously pandering. Pandering is what people don't. Nobody wants to be pandered to.
Yeah.
And like I think people like to see like a certain amount of representation, but they don't want it to be in a way where it feels like they're just checking off a box to check off a box. They want, at the end of the day, they want good storytelling, compelling characters, no matter who those characters are, or where they come from, or what color their skin is, or what their identity or orientation or any of that. They want well-written, good characterization, good story, and they don't want something in there just to pander to this group or that group.
Yeah.
Because it comes off as fake. And people can tell when like a writer, I think, was really passionate about the story, when the animators were passionate about the quality of the animation, when Disney always has songs in there, when the people singing the songs are passionate about singing the song. I think that all comes through in the end product. And I don't think pandering kind of comes off as like lacking any kind of like depth or soul. And if it comes off too shallow, it's going to disappoint. Even the people that it's intended to please are going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
And of course, you're always going to have some jackass out there that just hates a certain kind of person and is going to hate it for that. But when you can't even like satisfy the people that you're intending to satisfy, you've missed the mark as a business.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the best part
to satisfy the customer.
Yeah. I think the best part of the comment is the responses. He says, "You bet you take the investment died from some guy in the with a webcam is Mike, who presents financial knowledge for his bedroom. LOL. And then the rest is some guy respond. I've gotten some of my best ideas from scruffy looking dudes in their bedrooms. Not saying this one is a genius, but don't write him off just because of the way he looks. I thought that was the best response.
I honestly haven't even looked back at it. But I pin it because, I think it's funny.
Yeah, we got more likes on our comments than he did on his. That's a win right there.
Of course. Real issue is management, not the woke stuff. I mean, the real issue with Disney is the margins.
Yeah, they got
now analysts think that they're going to get back to somewhere closer to their old pre-COVID margins in the next few years. Which, if they do, it's objectively like it's an incredible value today. If that actually happens.
Yeah, next year's a huge year for them, 2024. Yeah, he's got a free game that like you play it all day and he gets money from it.
Oh, well, that sounds fun. I like free money. Join my channel membership, everybody. Right. So bearish on the markets last year, 80% cash. Yeah, I mean, most of the stocks in my value account were assigned last year. When stuff cratered, I started selling puts and just took assignment on anything that went further and kept selling more puts. I ended up actually for 2022 basically flat when the S&P was down like 20%. So I'll take that. This year has been a little bit weirder. It's been kind of a wild ride, a roller coaster of sorts. Last year was more like a straight just jump off a cliff kind of year. Alrighty.
I wish I would have had more cash stored up during last year too, because I would have bought a lot more.
Last year I started with not tons of cash, but what I would think of as tons of cash for a normal person. And it's just when last year was kind of when we happened to exit the whole real estate thing altogether, and just that's where the cash got deployed, was on the TD Ameritrade. Frozen is shallow, huh? I've never actually seen Frozen, so I'll take your word for it, Jonathan.
Not proper due diligence.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the way children go completely bananas over Frozen, I probably should watch it if I'm considering getting into Disney.
You got to record the kids in the theater too. You got to record their reactions.
I feel like that's a weird line.
I know. You got to record their reactions to the film. You got to hide it though. You got to like get your phone kind of out of your side pocket. Just don't get caught. Make sure you don't get caught. It's private Discord. Or I could do it actually because I'm a minor. Rich says...
Not advice, but puts on WeWork. Yeah. More than likely, yes. I'll just say that. If anything deserves a short.
We got a good question. I just moved out the city and all my neighbors have massive lawns. May have to hop on the same side hustle. Lawn mowing is I do by the job. And I do based on the size of the lawn. Like the biggest, I do 15 and 15 for average size property. I'll actually look it up right now for you. But if you're on like a wealthier side, don't be afraid to go up to the $50 range. If it takes, I'm pretty much my hourly rate is $25 an hour. But I get done fast and I do a good job.
That's solid. I mean, that's a good way to grind out some cash.
Yeah, I'm trying to be more conservative. Yeah, 1,300 square feet for the two properties that I did for 15.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Any way you can get more cash reliably coming in and put it to work in your investments, the better it'll be in the long run. The sooner you can get that cash in the door and get it deployed into something that's good.
So you join the Discord, like in the description, and join the
Yeah,
membership so
absolutely,
you get money.
absolutely.
I mean, so we can interact with you more as a fan. My neighbors.
100%, 100%. I'm actually, one thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into like, so like focus groups where they basically interview you for like your opinion on things.
Mm-hmm.
Those actually pay pretty well.
Really?
Yeah, I'm working on getting it. Like they're hard to get into. Well, I shouldn't say hard. It's just you have to apply for a lot of them before any of them will like actually let you join, because they're looking for like a perfect fit for whatever it is they're trying to get opinions about. But they'll give you like, most of them pay in the form of like, for example, like prepaid Visa cards and things like that, more so than like
Yeah.
an actual check or something. But you can get like 50 or 60 bucks for an hour. So I'm signing up on a couple sites to see if I can get it into a few of those, just to see how it works. If it works out well, maybe I'll make a video about it, because it's about as easy as it gets as far as like how much effort it takes. You basically just have to answer some questions and give some honest feedback to some people, and they'll give you money.
Real talk.
Yeah. Yeah, Jonathan, I do like, are you not in the Discord? Link in the description. I thought you were.
Wow.
What a traitor.
Showed his true colors.
Unbelievable. Yeah, my Discord has, let's see, looks like 65. 65.
Have you been doing with scammers as well recently? Like really bad?
We get the occasional person that like changes their avatar to match mine, and yeah, we've got to like, apply the ban hammer gratuitously.
It's been horrible on mine recently. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's just been.
Honestly, I think it's just bottom feeders bottom feeding. Nothing you can really do.
Winter Hustle. You should scrape ice. I did that, but I quit it. It was not worth it. I got like $300 the entire season, and I did shoveling though. So
Hey, so somebody just joined your Discord and they said, just started watching videos, love the content, and he said it gives him Joseph Carlson vibes. That's pretty high praise.
wow,
To you,
this guy's really. Jesus, man, this is catching me off guard a little bit here. I hope he's learning and burning. And then he just posts like a
100%.
Telegram ad. He posts like an everyone Telegram ad.
Oh, that would break my heart if that happened with this guy, because that's a really nice thing for him to say about.
I'm not going to respond now. I got to formulate a better response. We got to focus on stream.
Snow kind of yeah, snow's kind of rare where I am too.
I'm in Buffalo, so
it's pretty common for you. Yeah,
it's very common because we're right on the lake too.
Yeah, you know what's really common where I'm at? Sand.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hate sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. For anybody that's seen Star Wars Episode 2, that one was for you.
I need to rewatch the prequels.
Yeah. Basically, Anakin comes from a desert planet, and
I know that. Tatooine.
Yeah, and he's talking to his lady friend, and he, informs her that he doesn't like sand and gives those exact reasons. Oh my goodness!
What a trilogy! What a trilogy!
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think I could live in Louisiana.
That's another thing. I want to like get a house in like on a shore, like when I'm older, when I have that all that private mastermind money.
Yeah, right.
But like
Sure.
I would like to do it in like Florida or somewhere, but I'm a little worried because of like the rising hurricanes and rising sea levels.
Yep. Yeah. So what you could do is you could buy it today, and then in 20 years, instead of buy like a little further inland, right? Because in 20 years it will be
Oh,
seafront property.
that is
Yep.
that's a good way to
Yeah. You should join my channel. I make real estate easy.
yeah, that's meet Kevin advice right there.
Yeah. I've been going down the YouTube Shorts rabbit hole, watching the different advice people give on there, and it's hilarious. There's this guy that literally every short, he has some kind of like real estate advice. Some of it is like okay, but a lot of it is like, and he's like, you should follow me. I make real estate easy, and it's like, bro.
Oh, oh,
And the comments are sometimes like so savage. It's really funny. It's really funny.
my dad thinks I should save up and sell my stocks to put at 25,000. What house are you gonna buy with?
So Ritz, um, only do that if you're ready to buy yourself another job. That's what you're doing, basically. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing to do. Don't get me wrong, but like actually having like real property is much better if you have a very, very high level of earned income, because it's really more effective as a tax shelter than anything else. It's something that can store value and grow value, but also reduce your tax burden at the same time.
Yeah, tell your dad about a REIT called Vici as well while you're at it.
Yeah. Veni Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I won.
Came, I saw, conquered. Something like that. I'll be back. I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
All right.
Caught me at a bad time. I was doing due diligence and
yeah, and part of the due diligence is, of course, drinking a 65-ounce Coke Zero at the theater. Makes you susceptible to bathroom breaks. I would still be putting myself in debt on something I don't know how to manage. That's also true. It's right, because even though over very long periods of time, real estate's likely to go up in value, you get instances where, maybe the like big factory that had a large chunk of the jobs leaves town and takes thousands of jobs with it, and then suddenly real estate prices collapse, or you have urban decay. I mean, look at Detroit when the auto industry was there. They looked like they were invincible. Probably would have seemed like a great idea to buy houses in Detroit, like 30 or 40 years ago. And today, nobody wants to buy houses in Detroit because nobody wants to live in Detroit, and there's a ton of vacants. So your dad has 5 rental houses and would help you, but rather be in Peachy. Only have to click sale to get it. Yeah. Unless you have unless you have a very high income, or I mean, if it's a house hack or something, right? Like let's say, you're getting ready to move out and live on your own. You can get pretty good like residential loan terms on like either a duplex, triplex, or 4-unit. You can live in one of the units, rent out the others, be, maybe be a little low key about the fact you own the place, and basically have tenants in the other units subsidizing your monthly payment and things like that. Like that would be a pretty cool move to make. But as far as going out there and buying like a bunch of single family houses that you're not living in when your income isn't really high, I just don't know if I see the point.
yeah, I want to. House hacking seems a little appealing for me too.
Yeah,
I'm still.
if I had everything to do over again, like that's probably something I would try to make happen for sure.
I do a duplex though.
Yeah, a duplex is probably the simplest way to go, because if you get a 4-unit, man, you're looking at you're really looking at a fun time managing 3 other units, unless you hire outside management, which in which case, like, they're taking 10% off the top. Timing on house buying is not great. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird time too with interest rates how they are. Prices have come down in some areas, but not enough to offset how much you're paying in interest. It's a brutal time to be in the house market right now, for sure. Here's the thing, like, once you've got like a 7-figure brokerage account, you can be your own bank and take out a margin loan to buy any piece of real estate you want, and then refinance at your own leisure and put the cash back in your brokerage account. You can tell the bank to kiss your butt because you're only going to take the terms that are favorable to you at that point.
You gotta connect your AdSense account to a bank account. You can't do PayPal, right?
As far as I know, yes. I haven't taken any. You don't have to connect it to anything until you try to withdraw. So, I mean, obviously, and minimum withdrawal is $100. So, I either have to hit like actual ad share or wait a while for the membership revenue to come in before I have that problem. Which,
when did you apply for the ad monetization?
So I can't until I have 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, I'm stupid. Yeah.
I've got the watch hours now, but which is nice. Like, I've got that out of the way, but the subscriber growth is still. I still need to kick that into high gear. Although I do think, honestly, I think that'll be. I think it'll be a pretty penny, honestly, even with only like 1,000 or so subscribers. I don't think it's going to be too bad.
I know, I know people with like 50K that do it for a living, which is kind of nuts.
50,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's doable at like half that, to be honest with you. I think like 20K subscribers, if you're in this space with its higher CPM, I think it's doable, especially if you're in a low cost of living area.
Just live off of your parents.
Yeah.
Take a gap year, then work 2 years, hopefully one at Costco.
Work 2 jobs. Wow.
Trying to get that Costco reward.
Well, see, if you work at Costco, they
That's
give you
due diligence too.
They probably give you a free membership, and if they give out RSUs to their employees, maybe you get some free Costco stock as part of your compensation. I mean, I guess it's not free; you earn it by working there, but then go get a business degree. I mean, Ritz, are you thinking like finance? I'm going to tell you, like, that's probably best money wise.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going for finance too.
Like this is I know quite a few people who did finance, and basically what they've told me is it's easier than accounting and you can make more money.
All the frat kids go for finance though, like all the party.
Well, and then, having a career in finance is more about your connections than anything else, and that's where you make your connections. A lot of people don't realize that necessarily outside looking in, but yeah.
Yeah, you'll see me at the club every weekend with my YouTube money.
Yeah. Yeah,
that membership money. No, he's right though. It's for me. I don't know about you, but I'm not really a big books guy. Like, I think they're really valuable and all, but I just can't. I get so much more out of like watching an hour to a YouTube a day, like based on finance, than I ever have reading a book.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about feeling like you're talking to somebody or that somebody's talking to you. Makes it a little more engaging, a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, but we're just guys in our bedroom though, so
That's true. That's true.
yeah.
You're a webcam and a microphone. Why should anybody care? But again, that pretty much describes 99% of people on YouTube. So I can live off hot dog meals. I mean, so here's the thing, man. Like, don't. It may be that you could live off hot dog meals or
Yeah, don't have that Graham
ramen
Stephan lifestyle.
or whatever. But I think it's worth. I think it's worth having like enjoying some good food, like stuff that is enjoyable, nutritious, whatever, meets your needs. At least, give your body something that it can work with that actually, meets your physiological needs. Don't you can eat enough calories in things like hot dogs and ramen and still be malnourished, right? Don't do that to yourself. In the long run, that's not good either financially or, for your health. And as valuable as your bank account, your brokerage account are, those are numbers on a screen, and you can always get more money, but you can't get another body. That's a true fact. Unless, of course, it's the movie The Island, in which case, like, you can pay some company to clone you and like get new body parts from them. But
we're gonna do that when we move to Hollywood once we hit 20K subscribers.
yeah,
we're gonna go to Hollywood.
We're gonna buy a creator house in the Hollywood Hills. We're gonna hang out with Ty Lopez here in his garage with his knowledge and his Lamborghinis.
A dividend creator house. That'd be
a dividend creator house. Yeah, you, me, heck, we could invite Frank. We can have Joey Carlson come down every once in a while for a party. We could have the dividend diplomats come over. That'd be wild.
I can't trust Joe at the house. That'd be he'd wreck it.
Yeah.
He's too much of a party animal.
Yeah, Joe Moneybags, as we call him.
Yeah, Jay Moneybags.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good way to approach it too, right? Yeah, get some of your surface level stuff from YouTube, because frankly, to get like super in depth, you would have to basically make like a 2-hour video talking about the same thing and like getting more and more granular. And the average person is not going to sit through that. And so like, I, for one, am not going to bother making like a 2-hour super granular video on one stock, because nobody's going to actually, watch it anyway. Right. So I'd rather like hit a few bullet points and call it a day. And if people want to talk about it more, they can come to the Discord, join the mastermind. Yeah, link in the description. Not too many people. I have considered maybe, getting a few of the sort of must reads, right? Like, what was Ben Graham's? What was it called? Securities Analysis. But I've heard it's so boring. Like, the rumors about how boring it is have deterred me from reading it. That's how boring it's supposed to be.
I read it every Friday and Saturday. No, I have a bunch of books in my room. I should probably bring them in the back for display. I haven't really gone too deep into any of them though, unfortunately. I just can't. I'd have to like write notes and annotate to like actually get a lot of knowledge out of it, which
So Jonathan, is your knowledge in quotes for because I brought up Ty Lopez earlier?
Yeah.
Does everybody remember that? Like, does everybody remember? Yeah.
Just bought this.
I'm up in the Hollywood Hills with my Lamborghini, but you know what I'm more proud of than my Lamborghini is these books because I've got all the knowledge. I read one book a day. Yeah. Ugh. That guy's like a cockroach. He's everywhere and he never goes away.
Him and Grant Cardone.
Oh gosh, yeah. You know what? Like, so meet Kevin's early.
I know. Like he was attacking him.
His early like his first few thousand subscribers he got by like basically harassing Grant Cardone and his employees. Like he would show up to their offices and like get the police called on him and stuff. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, Kevin became the very thing that he swore to destroy, let's just say.
Yeah, because you know, Grant Cardone, first of all, sells those sells the different courses and all that. And then he actually has like in-person, like I guess mastermind type things.
Seminars.
Yeah. And he was bragging that there's guys there that like took out second mortgages on their house to pay the $12,000 to come and stuff. And then what he teaches you to do in the seminars and whatever is to basically like he puts together these I guess what you call them like real estate holding companies where he then gets like people that have come up through his courses and stuff to invest in them. And then he sells them at a markup properties he's already previously purchased. And that's how he makes all his money on real estate, is then basically upselling his dumb students to buy properties that he already owns and like at a profit.
Yeah.
So like he's just milking them for all they're worth, essentially, is what it looks like to me anyway. And
yeah,
I honestly don't even know how it's like legal for him to like operate that way. But I mean, there you go.
Yeah, we got to start milking our viewers more, I think, on the private mastermind.
Yeah, we do.
I think we start charging for these live streams per hour, like $50 exclusive access, free stock picks, not financial advice.
Yeah. Look, it's only $559. It's usually $1,164. You got to get it while it lasts. This deal
early Christmas present. Early Christmas.
Yep. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. A random walk down Wall Street. Great, but so boring. Yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki is kind of a tool too.
Who's kind of a tool?
Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fell off.
Yeah, I hear it's basically a lot of platitudes, and it's something shallow that people put up as something profound, basically. Yeah, the crypto Twitter. I swear, any space that's like crypto heavy, it's so bad. It's like the most brain dead spaces on the internet.
I think we should go on there and troll one of them sometime. We got to like find our way on there, make up new stories.
Here's the thing.
I bought Bitcoin 10 years ago at the age of 7 years old.
Guaranteed, if we just change the direction of the YouTube channels to why I'm buying Bitcoin today and why I'm, selling Cardano, or why I'm bullish on Ether's, tokenomics and just the proof of stake and the architecture is really bullish, and I think that it's really undervalued. It's like, what? None of it makes any. Yeah, it's all a bunch of nonsense. There is no intrinsic value. And when Warren Buffett says you could offer me all of the cryptocurrency in the world for $25 and I wouldn't buy it because I have no idea what it's worth. And I just think it's funny that everybody likes to name drop Buffett.
I wouldn't buy it for $0.
When it's or Munger, when it's convenient for them to sound like they're you know, like, oh yeah, well, Warren Buffett says be this, be greedy when others are fearful. That doesn't mean everything that goes down needs to be bought.
Yeah.
Right. But they'll say that to make a point about some kind of investment that Warren Buffett would never, ever in a million years consider buying.
Yeah.
They'll say that on things like Tattooed Chef or Oatly or Lucid or
Funko.
Workhorse or Mullen. And it's disgusting. And then they'll also, pump crypto in another, in the next breath. And it's like, well, you're quoting Warren Buffett over here about being greedy when others are fearful, but then over here you're pumping up crypto, which Warren Buffett basically said he wouldn't buy all of it for $25.
Yeah, we should start making those videos.
Yeah. It's so dumb. But people just like to talk the game of paying respect to Buffett because he's a billionaire. Everybody's heard of him. Everybody knows that Berkshire is like one of the greatest holding companies of stocks and businesses ever. And it's a bunch of coattail riding, but they don't actually follow any of Mullen needs to be taken off the market. So yeah, this guy knows.
Well, we're gonna pump it, so I wouldn't do this yet.
Yeah, it's lip service is what it is. It's cheap.
Yeah, we're buying it 10x tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of the people that they name drop Buffett, they, if anything, they share maybe one position with him, and it's Apple. But they don't actually follow any of the same principles. Definitely not a man. Yeah. So the problem with EVs, I think, it's not that they're all bad companies. I think Tesla is going to still be around in 10 or 20 years and probably still be profitable. And I think I test drove a Model S once. It was a really awesome experience. The autopilot was weird, not steering the car or anything like that. It was very, very strange.
Jeremy let you drive his?
No, it wasn't Jeremy. It was actually the dealership let me drive it. We have a Tesla dealership in the area here, and basically, as long as you prove that you have enough insurance to cover the car, they'll let you drive it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a car soon.
Yeah. Now in real life now, though, I actually drive a Chevy Cruze because it's inexpensive, good on gas, cheap to maintain, and doesn't cost a lot to buy. They stopped making them though.
Yeah, I don't know what my first car is going to be. I was looking at a Camry or something. So I'm in no rush.
A Toyota is never a bad option, especially if you're thinking a used car for your first car. Toyotas are hard to kill. They have that reputation for a reason. There's a reason, when you go to random undeveloped countries, a lot of the cars you see are 90s Toyotas because that's, it's what they can afford, and they just last basically forever as long as you maintain them. Bullish on Toyota stock.
But what's your dream car?
My dream car?
Ooh. That membership money, good use.
Yeah, honestly, if I could get a Corvette, I think that would be awesome. I mean, I know that's not exactly a Lambo, but when I was a kid, my dad had a Corvette, and I got to go for rides in it sometimes, and that was really fun. So nostalgia, Corvette's got nostalgia for me. But if we're talking about supercars, I think the Lambo is overplayed. Every influencer ever flexes the Lambo. Um, I'd probably, I mean, you know what's more exclusive is being able to own a Ferrari.
Not
Basically
your.
to be allowed to be able to even get on the list to own a Ferrari, like to get a new Ferrari, you have to first like buy a used one from somebody, and like it's just crazy. Like it's crazy how much they hold their value compared to other cars. So maybe a Ferrari if I had to go with like a really really expensive supercar, but for like a more realistically achievable as a normal person, unless the mastermind blows up to like a million members, probably a Corvette. Then again, I could just do the Lambo and make some of those gold digger prank videos that are so popular these days.
Yeah, it'll be. I'll record.
Yeah, you can hold the camera. I'll start like hassling women that walk by and be like, "Hey, what's your name?" But while wearing like a McDonald's uniform, of course, so that they look down on me. And then I remote start the Lambo, and they suddenly come back. Because we know those aren't all staged.
Yeah, I
And
like
it's
Ford
amazing.
Raptor R's. That's my dream car.
A Raptor, huh?
Yeah, they're like a Camaro.
A Camaro could be a good, like a classic Camaro.
Nah,
Like a
probably a newer one. I definitely
like,
want to get like a blackout on it though. On both of them.
yeah, a
We'll have,
Dodge Viper. A Dodge Viper could be cool too.
we'll have our private mastermind Discord house.
Yeah, you know
Giving
what?
him.
I'll just get a garage up in the Hollywood Hills next to Ty, and I'll get all of them.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Ooh, he likes the Porsche.
It's not Bugatti.
Oh, you know what else I could get? I've been driving a Lincoln since long before they paid me to drive one. I just like the way it makes me feel. Matthew McConaughey, baby. By the way, a Lincoln is just a Ford with nicer looking trim, just so you all are aware. Lithium companies for the batteries all these EVs need. I can't remember who it was, but I saw someone made like a ridiculous amount of money buying up some really really cheap lithium miner like in Australia or something. And I thought that was a really smart, really really smart move, because he did it years ago because he saw the EV thing kind of coming a little bit, maybe a little bit ahead of the curve. It was so cool. But again, like if it didn't play out that way, really risky. Um, Actually, though, as far as like basic materials, I like Vale because I mean they've got iron ore, nickel, and copper, which I'm sure EVs. I've heard EVs use a lot of nickel. I think nickel gets used in the batteries too, if I'm not mistaken. But someone who knows more about that EV technology, tell me if I'm right or wrong on that. And the iron ore, of course, is used in the steel and everything. Ty rented all his houses for the videos. That's true. Yeah, those were all rented. He probably like got them for a day on Airbnb for like a couple grand, and then did all his filming for 8-10 hours, whatever, and then put out his video. He was the biggest phony of the phonies, because none of the houses, when he would like do like a crib style tour or whatever, show you like the 36 rooms or whatever, they never looked lived in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that, and actually it's funny, most, or not most, but a good number of the houses on Cribs itself, the show, they were not the person's actual house. They were like either somebody's house that like they knew, or again like a short-term rental or something to like look good on MTV or whatever. Oh yeah, yeah. People people around here love Mustangs. I worked with a kid. He bought a brand new Mustang. And granted, like, this was a few years ago. It's not like we were making that much money. He buys a new Mustang, and then like a year later, he buys a second one and didn't sell the old one or anything. So this dude's running around with 2 Mustang payments, and it's like, bro, I guess like he got one for himself and then got one for his wife too, because they just needed 2 Mustangs in the household. And she was going to be like a stay-at-home, like, as well. And it's like, bro, you're spending all your money on Mustangs. What are you doing? But he was like 23 or something. So, you know,
Mustangs aren't terrible price, right? Like they're you pay a little bit, but you can get one for like 12. Used one from a while ago.
So yeah, I mean, I'm a little, I don't know, with Fords. I've seen a little bit of how the sausage is made, and man, they cheap out on a lot of their parts, from what I can gather. Which it's probably good for their profitability, but it's not very consumer friendly. So, like, I might consider investing in Ford if they're underpriced, but I probably wouldn't own a Ford.
Yeah, I got a friend who has a Mustang, another friend who has a BMW, but he like obviously can't afford it, and it's got like 200,000 plus miles on it, and it's like he has to work 3 jobs just to keep up with the payment, and it just broke down.
Jonathan would prefer a Camaro. Yeah,
I'll let John get in the Camaro.
Yeah. I had an uncle. My uncle had this really, really nice old Camaro. It was like, you know, it was one of those things where like he probably had it since he was a teenager and just kept it forever, and it was like his garage queen baby type thing. Only took it out on special occasions. But when it comes to cars, I'm definitely much more of like a pragmatist. Like, I'd rather something that's not costing me a lot of money, that is reliable, gets me from A to B, that I don't have to worry about or stress
That's
about
all
at
that
all.
matters at the end of the day.
Like, because all right, like my Cruise has all kinds of like door dingles and like scratches that have come from like being in the grocery store parking lot. Somebody probably hit it with a cart or something, and like I see that kind of stuff every once in a while, and like I don't freak out because like nobody gives a crap about the paint job on your Chevy Cruze. But like if I had like even like a Corvette or a Mustang, or you know a much, or a supercar or something, I would be flipping my shit if that thing got like a scratch or a ding, right? So
You know,
like there's like this added like layer of stress. Like it's cool to have a really, really nice car that's expensive and whatever, but the extra stress, I don't even know if it's worth it. I mean, if you're super, super rich, like you got like 8 figures or something, yeah, go ahead,
just
treat yourself.
money bags.
Yeah, your Joseph Moneybags, treat yourself to a nice car. But like if you're I think if you're a regular person and you're still building your initial like investing foundation or whatever, go with the sensible option. Delay the gratification. Okay. Go with the more sensible option so that you can afford, your Mustang or your Corvette, or, even your Lambo later, right?
In the garage.
In your garage, in the Hollywood Hills. And I've got my books, my knowledge. I read a book a day in the garage with my Lamborghini. Ugh, that guy.
I feel like it's just funny at this point. The
Yeah.
Ty Lopez.
I'm shocked that anybody still buys his courses, but he does still sell them. You know what's really funny? Actually, I checked out his whatever the website is where he sells his courses and stuff. and some of the most recent courses that he's got, like that he's come out with in the last like year or so, AI.
Oh,
How to
I'm looking at his website right now. How to live the good life. Get lean, healthy, and strong. He's got a pair of him with boxing gloves on.
I'd cage match with Ty.
Yeah, I feel like
he looks pretty scrawny and weak to me.
You'd have a lot of driven motivation. That'd be funny if there's a finance cage match or like a fighting event. That'd be so funny.
Yeah. In my prime, I take any of them. 100%. 100%. I've never really seriously considered a Honda.
Definitely not a Kia.
Mm-mm. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with a Kia, but yeah, I've never personally considered one, or a Nissan. You know, I see a lot of BMWs in the parking lot where I work. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of stereotypes about people who drive BMWs driving rudely too, and I wonder why that is. If anybody knows, like, please feel free to let me know.
I thought it was like the Subaru moms, so it'd always be a little.
Oh yeah.
The Karens, the Subarus.
Yeah, that's true. They tend to be really entitled and cut people off. Well, other than Ferrari, they do. But a Ferrari is not realistic for most people. But yeah, Toyota and Honda, I think just in terms of like you not having to like replace them, just how many miles you can get out of them before you have to replace them. I do think Toyota and like how many like 10+ year old Honda Civics do you see out there? Right?
Yeah.
Tons. Right? Same with Toyota Corollas, right? So yeah. 100%.
It's always the people with like the shitty beater cars that are like gray, they're old, they have tinted windows that are always the ones causing the most havoc on the roads, I notice.
How come it is that sometimes you see like $5,000 rims on like a $3,000 car?
I know.
They got the spinners and everything. Ram truck drivers always be speeding. All right, so Ritz, like I can't even call people out for that. Like, you know, it's just my experience that those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. So I got nothing to say against their speeding. And changing lanes. Well, I mean, if you got to get around some idiot that's going slow.
It's always the old people that are going.
Dude, don't I know it? I mean,
we need to get.
Remember, where I live, once winter comes, it's all silver alerts on the highway. A silver alert is basically shorthand for grandpa has dementia and he found the keys and he's driving the wrong way on the highway. That's basically what a silver alert is. And like I used to see them on the highway every morning on my way to work, like silver alert, and they would say like what the model of car was, and it's like 2012 Nissan. And I'm like, man, grandpa found the keys. You gotta hide them better next time.
The Mexican lowrider.
The lowriders. They see me rolling, they hating. It's a self-image thing with a spinner. Yeah, right. Like, I get if you're in that that economic situation that crappy car might be the most valuable thing you own, and so you want to like pimp it. It's peacocking too. Like, as they say, chicks not only love dividend stocks, they also love expensive spinners on your beater car. Trust me, I know this about women.
Yeah.
But the real dating advice, it's in the mastermind.
Yeah.
Got to join.
We were having a funny conversation on another Discord. So, Citizen of the Year?
I've heard Citizen of the Year.
Uncle Cody. Cody Moneybags.
Cody Moneybags.
No, there's a funny conversation. I was not really involved with it, but it was really funny.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's talking about
too, right?
Yeah, negative experience dating a woman because he was 5'11" and not 6'1". Is height really that big of a thing? Cause I'm 6'1" or 6'2", and I'm attracting as much as Intel stock is right now to
all right,
retail investors.
So I mean, gosh, all right. How do I put this? Like, I'm 5'7" and I do okay. So like, no, height's not everything, but I'd be on easy mode if I was even like 5'9", 5'10", for real. But yeah, but once you get to like 5'9", 5'10", it's funny because like a lot of women have the perception that 6 foot is average. And so once you look like you're about average height, like I'm slightly below average height, right? But once you like hit like well into the average height, they'll kind of buy that you're 6 foot or want to, if they want to believe it enough. Right. Now I don't know where I think it's funny. There's data actually from like all the online dating sites where you can filter by height, and in countries where they use centimeters, there isn't this like huge bias towards 6 foot and above. But in the US, where we use feet and inches, there is this like dramatic decrease in the amount of swipes you'll get as a man if you're under 6 foot. It's just large sets of data that show it. But you see a more even distribution amongst, like, obviously there is still like a little bit of favoritism towards taller in like European countries, but it's more of like a steady decline. Obviously if you're like 140 or 100 or let's say 100 centimeters tall, you're an actual legal dwarf, you're going to get a lot fewer swipes than somebody that's like 195 centimeters, because that's like 6'4" or something, right? But it's like much more like evenly distributed, and it's not just like 160 centimeters gets a lot, and then 159 it just plummets down to nothing, right? But here it is very much like 6 foot and above, you're getting tons of swipey swipes. 5'11", it plummets considerably, and then keeps plummeting a ton more as you go down on the apps.
Have you ever done the apps?
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's worth it?
If you're not too hung up on the results, yeah. I mean, some people go on there and they absolutely have their self-perception shattered because they don't. But like, first of all, like, learn how to take a damn picture that's not like you like holding a dead fish in like a flannel shirt or something. There are a lot of like really, really bad profiles out there, and I think that's not helping anybody, right? Because even if you get past, like, if you get past like the the height issue or whatever, I mean, and there 100% are people on there that aren't like, they don't care too much about your height, but like they at least want you to like have like a well put together profile. So if like it looks like absolute crap, or like some kind of really bad selfie from some horrible angle or something, or it looks like you haven't showered in God knows how long, you're not gonna get and it also helps if you have some stuff of you like out not, you shouldn't have like most of your pictures be with other people, but at least one that shows that you know how to socialize a little bit
I
and
know.
actually have friends, and that you're not just, it's not like a selfie from 3 different angles in your closet or something, right? It's just so like you would think this is common sense, but a lot of these guys that have zero success on there, it's just they need a profile makeover, if anything. And also, honestly, go to the gym. Like don't
I
get on
do go
there.
to the gym are you talking the audience or me?
No, the audience. Like if I
Okay,
mean
good.
just in general, about the apps and whatever. Go to the gym. Like have like I
Yeah.
know it's like kind of like cheesy, but have like a gym selfie in there somewhere, and if you're in good shape, like show it off. Like if you have good arms or whatever, show that off a little bit. Don't be afraid to, I mean, let's face it, a lot of the women in their profiles, you'll see that they've got their makeup they've got their hair done, they maybe got you know maybe got that nice dress on that shows a little bit of something for you, right? They're like, it's about attracting eyeballs. It's marketing.
Yeah. These are some great comments I'm seeing right now. This is some
Oh
legendary.
yeah, oh yeah. No, this is a great bonus topic.
They sell Bro Guy and Tate Image. Yeah, bro. Name's Chatty Fatty.
All right, so that's super awesome. I mean, honestly,
Damn.
like on principle, that wouldn't that doesn't bother me like intellectually, but like I just don't know how I would make that work logistically.
I know.
The physics of it, a sleeper build. Yeah. Yeah, I got back in a few weeks ago after some time off, old injuries and whatnot. I actually used to take it pretty serious. Like I've been thinking about digging out some of my old pictures from a few years ago and showing you guys what I used to.
Members only.
Yeah, yeah. Members only get to feast their eyes upon my Death Star deltoids and my fighter jet biceps.
Yeah, we had Domino's the other night, and I looked huge after it. I carved up, so I looked giant after it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice when you've built up enough muscle to where if you have like a really really awful meal of like 3,000 calories of pizza or something, all it does is give you a good pump.
Glycogen, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. You will.
I gotta post the pump pics in the group chat. I've not done that in a while.
I will dig some out and show you guys.
I wouldn't put this on a Tinder account. I don't know. I think I'll do Tinder probably after I graduate high school. That'd make a little more sense.
So that's probably the most shallow of all of them. Like it's literally just visual marketing. So if you can take like some, what I guess you would call like really flattering pictures and unfortunately, yes, include like 6'3" or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although there is some evidence that a lot of the ladies on there filter out guys under a certain age. So 18, 19, 20, it may not be worth it. I've found that in general, the rate of success has actually gone up with time, like surprisingly enough. Yeah. Like there's more interest in like a 33, 34, 35-year-old than like a 29-year-old, for instance, which is weird.
It's crazy.
But
I've done better. my stats are better out of state and like out of town, out of Buffalo, than they are in Buffalo.
Gotcha. So you're saying that like you might be like a Buffalo 6, but like a Syracuse 8.
Oh yeah,
100%.
definitely.
Gotcha.
Oh man, back in my state swimming days, I was 133 in the lead. All right, John. Nobody likes a bragger. All right, let's not. I hung out with my friend, and he had 2 chicks with him. We did that night was an arcade game at the. Oh, things are going down if you go to the arcade. I get 1 pinch. That's good.
Oh, that sounds like the kind of shenanigans my friends and I got up to when we were teenagers.
Man, I'm boring.
Trying to outcompete on dumb things like who could 1-inch punch the thing the hardest and whatnot. We all thought that we were basically like our own main character in some kind of anime or something.
Man, I'm boring compared to you guys. Christ.
Yeah.
I'm having one road trip.
I'm wearing my Super Saiyan blue tank top here, so
yeah. I'm having one road trip to see my really good friends next summer when I can drive there, and it's gonna be unspeakable things could happen. Won't be me selling all my stocks though, that's for sure. Had a girl serve me my continental breakfast and fill me in.
continental.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh, what? Out of state girls still always think you're right. Yeah, you got extra like 3 points on vacation. I'm telling you. Wow, Ritz is showing off the Riz in the chat right now. John was right.
One Punch Man. Yeah, so I love One Punch Man. Out of state girls do always think you're hot. Yeah, try out of the country. That's always better.
I don't think Canada counts that for me.
No, Canada. Like, you gotta go further out of the country.
Hello, how are you? Do you invest in TD Ameritrade?
Yeah, you've gotta. I mean, this is just my opinion, but like, I think the Philippines, Thailand, Colombia, so much better. So much better. Frankly, like, I mean, I might get some hate for this, but like, the locals are they get heavier and heavier. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying, like,
yeah, they don't age like Coke stock. Let's just say.
No, they don't. And here's the thing, like, I'm pretty old, but like most people age me under my actual age when they meet me in person. So like, I don't know. I think that like there is something to be said for at least taking some kind of care of yourself. And a lot of people just let themselves go, and that is not as much the case in other countries. Like, they don't have the obesity and like, I don't know, like the complex about like the height. Going back to the height thing, like, you go to the Philippines, like the average woman's like 5 foot nothing, and so what do they care if you're 6 feet or not 6 feet? You know?
Do they take dividend stocks in the Philippines too, or is that international?
It's the universal language of love, dividend stocks. Women everywhere appreciate a good portfolio, my friend. Trust me on that one. Oh,
Mexico, I go. Gotta get them Latinos. Yeah, don't get jumped by the cartel. I don't want to.
Yeah, that's like
not eager to go to Mexico anytime soon.
Yeah, with Mexico, that's definitely the concern as a tourist or whatever. Yeah, they don't have. So, I mean, in the Philippines, they all speak English too. That's, bonus point. Like, if you if you need something, you can actually communicate with the locals. In other places, that can be difficult. I've been to Italy, and like there are people there that speak a little English, but communication can be challenging. Even trying to like order at a restaurant or something can be a little bit awkward.
Man, Ritz would know for our age, it's very hard to communicate. Snapchat is like the big thing for us.
Oh
And
gosh.
it's the most pointless point of communication ever.
Yeah, I don't know what the obsession is Snapchat still big with your generation?
Unfortunately.
Follow me on Snap. You know, I re-downloaded it not too long ago and I regret it because of all of the pointless notifications and stuff. It's like, why did I do this? Why did I do this?
I have two uncles that are brothers. One is a heavy drinker, one's a heavy smoker. It's good for our Altria stock, I'll say that.
You know, I would be concerned about the heavy drinker looking super fit because that can actually happen if you're diabetic, where you end up looking really thin in spite of having like a really bad drinking habit or whatever, because you're not able to because insulin is the storage hormone, and if you're not producing enough of it, you can basically have the appearance of being really fit in spite of bad habits because you're not storing anything as fat because you don't produce adequate insulin.
Yeah.
Although he might just be one of those people that can maybe outtrain, a heavy drinking habit.
We saw some guy smoking a cigarette right before going into the gym the other day.
Yeah, I knew a dude who was on the track team. He was like their best pole vaulter, and he smoked cigarettes too.
It's got to warm up the lungs, get that cardio going.
And he swore that it actually helped him be able to increase his lung capacity by encouraging him to breathe more deeply. He actually believed that.
Oof.
For real. Yes, for real. Wow.
Well, what a conversation.
Yeah. Drinks Dr. Pepper at cross-country practice. Well, I mean, it's not that much worse than like Gatorade. It's just a bunch of sugar water, basically. I mean, Gatorade has some electrolytes in it, but if you drink like actual like spring water or something like that, there should be enough. There should be electrolytes in there, like naturally occurring ones.
Or just eat healthy and get your electrolytes that way.
You know, that is an option, to actually eat nutritious, good quality food.
Yeah.
But who wants to do something like that when you could just eat ramen?
You're Ryan. You actually have I do have a stock story. I barely post on it though. I do.
What do you mean? I'm not sure if I know what that is. Stock story.
So on I did it like a year and a half ago. It's like you can have like different stories. It's basically like it's like different posts you can make. So I just would like post like my investment thesis on stuff and like my portfolio value. It's because I can look back on it, like, and I actually do still sometimes. Like I'll look back from last year. It is very annoying. It sucks because it's normalized being like antisocial.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think that's a problem with social media in general, and people who like it's addictive by its very nature, right? Like you get that like dopamine hit or whatever from the scrolling and from the likes and all that stuff and from the notifications, and so like it causes you to seek repetition of that behavior. And like the amount of people that can't seem to look away from their phone even for like an hour, it's unsettling. And I don't know what the solution is, but it does seem like, well, we were talking about vaping earlier, rotting people's brains or whatever, but I think stuff like Snapchat, Instagram, and all that is going to do more brain rotting than vaping will by a mile.
Yeah.
because it's deeply psychologically addictive.
Yeah.
And just all the problems it creates. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to invest in Meta if the stock gets back down to a low price again, but I don't spend my time on their platforms, that's for sure, except for WhatsApp. WhatsApp's pretty lit.
I use WhatsApp to prank call people. That's like my fake number. Like
So WhatsApp is good for being able to text people internationally with a phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost
That's why all
anything.
the scammers use it too.
Yeah, it's true. WhatsApp and Telegram for all the
Yeah.
crypto scammers. Yeah. Join my Telegram group. I've got crypto knowledge in my Telegram group. Miss Catherine is a great investor. Yes, I also invest with Miss Catherine.
Like the 15 responds in the comments, like the first minute in.
Yeah, I also invest with Miss Catherine. She's great.
Oh, wow.
She got me 20,000% returns. It's like,
Yes, Miss Catherine
it must
help me during a trying time.
Here's the thing: it has to be working on someone, or they wouldn't bother. Somebody has to be falling for it, or they would have stopped by now, because that stuff's been going on forever.
Ryan's senior year's easy. Yeah, I'm getting in on early this year. I'm not looking forward to it, but
yeah. When I was younger, we would say that we had senioritis when we didn't feel like doing things in our senior year, like academically and whatnot.
yeah.
It's like I got a bad case of senioritis, because it's just like by that point you're kind of over it.
Yeah, I think I'm immune to that. I don't really do anything in the first place. I'm not like a dropout, but I don't know. My GPA is probably like a 3 right now.
I mean, that's respectable.
Yeah, it's respectable. I don't
Better.
Do any studying or any of that at home, at least.
Yeah.
Good habits.
Studying's for suckers.
Yeah.
Learn it the first time, punk.
Yeah.
Everything is ad driven, even video games. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, gaming is getting ruined by microtransactions. Those shark cards on GTA are cancer.
Yeah, Fortnite too. Been on a bit of a Fortnite spree recently. I'm probably gonna play some after this.
Jeez. Well, Ritz is one-upping you on the GPA, I guess.
Yeah, nobody likes a bragger, right? No, that's not.
Have a little humility, buddy.
No, we need to normalize having like a 3.0 GPA. Because I feel like in my school, at least, if you don't have like a 90, or if you're on like high honor or whatever, I wouldn't say you're looked down on, but it's not like, it's just overrated, I think. Like, and a lot of these kids are going to the same school that I'm going to.
Yeah. I think, I mean, controversial take here, but homework's the biggest grift ever.
That is
like okay, you're there are some, like I've seen some people going as far as to speculate that it's like it's a thing that has been normalized to in order to normalize it in the future workforce, that it's normal to basically not have like a separation between work and home life.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see you see the stories, people like, there's plenty of things here on YouTube, on like Reddit, other platforms, where they have entire sections dedicated to like work-life boundaries, and like coworkers and or supervisors who try to like force you to basically check on work from home and stuff like that. And I think homework is potentially the way that they indoctrinate people into thinking that that's normal. And
homework.
Yeah.
I'd rather do it in school, or
That's
All
the
right,
thing.
go
Like
ahead.
they have like basically 7 hours a day in which to teach you what they need to teach you. And like if they can't teach the lesson in that amount of time, is like who's the one that's not efficient then?
Yeah.
Although I have the utmost respect for teachers because I do think that in a lot of cases they are not nearly compensated enough for the BS they have to deal with.
I agree.
And
Especially public
oftentimes,
school.
like oftentimes the curriculum they have to teach is stupid and out of date, and they don't even necessarily agree with it, but they have no choice because the school board decides that. So if you have a complaint about the way school is, vote at the school board level election. Don't blame the teachers. Oh, call out. Such a nerd. Such a nerd. So, guys, we blew out the 2 hour mark. Like
Yeah,
a
it's
little
20
bit
minutes of
ago.
extra content, guys. You got to hit that donate
Yeah,
button below.
yeah. I mean, if you're not already, you need to be members of both channels here because
Yeah.
we just went way above and beyond for you and join the private mastermind. Give us super thanks. And by the way, next time we're on here, we better see some more super chats in the chat.
Yeah, if you don't donate, you're not on my level or our level. So
Yeah, that's the only way to get on our level. You got to put your
yeah,
money where your mouth is. But yeah, I think that, I mean, I'm pretty good to wrap it up here. Anybody have any last words?
John says he was the nerd jock in high school in non-main sports. All right, John was pushing people in lockers. Christ.
He was a Renaissance man, apparently.
Yeah.
Too many ass slapping guys. So I never did any sports programs. I did weight training on my own, and you know, are we looking for a flex? I don't know.
Whoa.
The lighting kind of washes me out, so that
That's peak
I look
bulk
like
right there. That's peak
I look
bulk.
like I got no lines, but yeah. Anyways, so I think we can wrap it up pretty much here. So, what's the final word? What should we do?
All right, everybody. Now we've hit the end. Of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash the like button. And, of course, join the Discords, link in the description. Free private mastermind right there. Free stock picks, free Tinder discussion, and so much more. And, of course, thank you for watching. And do dividend stocks, not drugs. Have a safe night.
Later, everybody.